Bruh. Hello.
Zippy.
Hey, Zippy.
How you doing?
Oh, Zippy made Sky like a squig.
It's not a squig.
Squid. Sorry.
Squig.
Every time I hear squig come out of your mouth, I just hear squig.
I probably said squig.
Yeah.
I meant squid. They're the same thing, whatever.
That's a flurgan.
I like that you're completely hidden behind your champion goat.
The only goat worth taking.
It's a very
He's been waiting
aggressive
for
goat.
this.
This is the most aggressive. Look at him. He
is.
is surfing towards you.
He's like, I killed things you could even imagine with this spear.
Hydrates are turned off for this stream because of where they're sitting and the fact that there's models on the table, that there's no liquids on the table. Zippy's good and asks, how are you?
Exhaustimated.
Yeah.
I just got
ready
through
for bed.
saying there were no liquids and now you're just going to drink on stream.
There's no liquids on the table.
Yes, but...
I am hydrating for Zippy.
Okay.
I am being a good streamer.
Hydrates will be back tomorrow.
Your regularly scheduled
Yes, they will.
stream activities.
Back to painting. Back to shenanigans. Back to me being a boring streamer.
Boring, he says.
He is kind of boring sometimes.
I mean, only when
Then
there's nobody here to
she's falling
interact
asleep
with him.
watching. She's falling asleep literally interacting and watching me. So I can't be that exciting.
You're plenty exciting when you have somebody to interact with, and not when people just don't show up.
Are you calling out the people that aren't here?
Yes.
You know that works really well when they can't hear or see you.
Oh, they'll come back and they'll watch the VOD later because they want to know what we're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see this moment and know that I'm talking to you. Hang out more often.
Are you channeling Markiplier right
We
now?
miss you. No. My hair's not pink enough. My voice is not deep enough. And I am not nearly as muscular as he
shot by a
is.
stroke surge.
That's, what changed? What changed?
Like there
You didn't get shot by a storm surge this weekend,
tell you what
sir.
That's true. I got shot by everything else.
I'll tell you what
me.
changed. I'll tell you what changed. Your outfit.
Our outfits did change.
Oh look! I got a kiwi cat.
Oh, kiwi.
All the nice fancy shirts that
Why don't you stand up
arrived.
and let them see it?
That arrived just a little bit too late. Alright, so we got the logo on the front. So sexy. We got the logo on the back. With team name. With call signs. So we're good. People will find each other in events now. Much easier.
When you see somebody in a Team Scrub jersey,
Team Scrub!
you have to give the time-honored traditional Team Scrub greeting. Team Scrub!
Team Scrub!
Team Scrub!
Team Scrub!
Team Scrub!
I don't know if it's time honored when it started.
It will be. By the time
It
people
started in
start
August.
by the time people start seeing other people in these jerseys at events, they'll be spread far enough that you'll start seeing them not just on us at events.
Zippy just said, everyone come watch our send shield missile drones. Zippy's trying to
Shielded missile drones did absolutely diddly except die all weekend.
They're shielded. That's their job.
They're shielded. You know what they ended up soaking up? Bolter fire and mortal wounds, because that's all anybody threw at me.
Mortal wounds are important to soak.
Meh?
Make sure you soak real good in those mortal wounds.
Nobody
You
let
take mortal
me.
in baths.
Me?
Nobody
Yeah.
let me do
Why do you
any
think
of the
I end up
cool
like this?
shenanigans that I can do with my mortal wounds. But
Where do I get a Team Scrub jersey? Funny that you ask. We will be selling these soon.
It looks like beer and it's
The
not.
ones that we'll be selling will say Team Scrub on the back. They will not be
Is it
personalized.
covered with the logo?
But they will say Team Scrub, and you can get a jersey that looks exactly like the one that he's wearing.
Except it'll just say Team Scrub.
Except it'll just say Team Scrub on the back. But we will be selling these soon. What we'll do is we'll put up a order form, and people will have to order them in advance. We will find a way to get you one, Zippy. If you decide to order one, just know shipping might be a little costly to ship overseas.
We will make sure you
Yeah.
get one somehow, some
We'll
way.
find a way to get you one, but it may be a little bit more costly for you just because you're overseas.
yeah, we will.
Once
do
you're
everything
in, you're
possible
in.
to we will get one to you
We
somehow,
will
some way,
definitely be selling these later.
for sure. For sure.
Once you're in Team Scrub, you don't get out unless we kick you out.
Who are you kicking out?
Nobody yet.
I don't know.
They haven't given me a reason
We
to.
randomly kicked people out and then immediately brought them back in when they were like, "Yeah, I'm free." And we're like, "Haha, no, you're not." And then we brought them back in.
Yes, but nobody's out of Team Scrub. Once you're in Team Scrub, you're in, unless we kick you out.
That's fair.
Once you're one of us, you're one of us.
It's like this
forever.
organization run by a bunch of scrubs or something.
That right? We just
I know.
can't
Oh, why
keep
did
people
that
away.
drop? I need my chat, you stupid computer. Hang
No.
on. I don't need chat, but I need you people here with us today. So, how was your experience at Cherokee?
Overall, it was fun.
We have videos that prove otherwise until the end. There,
I
sir.
went-
Speaking of videos,
Oh God, what is this?
Zippy, watch this.
You can't see it. He doesn't have video.
What? Nice. Congrats, man. What were you playing against?
Oh, hang on.
I saw it over there. Oh lordy. Oh, that would be why.
That would be our third guest of the evening.
Our third guest.
Second guest of the evening.
You're more than one person?
I mean, I've always been more than one person. Hey man, what up?
Apparently it's playing again.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I put a 5-minute cooldown on it. I don't know how it went through twice.
Yeah, because only Watts can do it.
So it takes the cooldown off?
I guess.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't remember.
Sorry.
We'll figure it out.
Hold on. I know we said it.
Imperial Guard. What were you playing? Did you kill him with the greater good? As it should be.
Oh no, it wasn't in this channel. It was in this channel.
New tabla. There are many things to talk about.
Yes. This
Yeah,
table's
we're gonna
fantastic.
get into some crazy talk in a second. Sorry guys, we're moving a little.
A little bit of housekeeping here.
Go here.
Dead man!
Hey, Dead
Oh,
Man!
show dead meme. Show dead meme.
I mean, we weren't gonna do. Okay.
Oh no, we weren't gonna do
I
that.
wouldn't have done that.
Oh
Okay.
no, we're gonna wait then.
Okay.
This is a surprise.
No, he knows.
Then it's not a surprise.
It's just I don't want to
That's right.
grab him in front of other people.
We are super professionals today.
Team Grub. Team Grub. Team Grub.
Team Scrub.
Team Grub.
Team Scrub.
Team Grub. Team Grub. Team Grub.
This apparently is my brother.
All I
Another
can
money.
find is the table. with
People
the
think we look
30-35.
alike.
Can you look your email and just check the price point? I don't remember.
You
Hey,
You
Scrub.
guys don't have to do this right now. I can wait. I just got paid off.
Yeah, just if you're gonna do that, I'll send you a number later.
Sorry guys. Y'all have a good day.
Have a good
Hi,
too, man.
bye.
Bye bye. Team Scrub.
It's good to see you, man. People think we look alike or something.
Yeah, they got massive they were twins.
That's
So
three times?
Zippy,
Three times?
unfortunately, Pillow Fight
Yeah,
is.
3 times.
Take off the glasses real quick. Just look at the camera.
Well, you were wearing your mask almost every time somebody said it. Gavin. There you go. So Zippy, unfortunately, Pillow Fight does not work for everybody. Then we've slowly nudges 2 more serve storages onto the table.
Yeah.
So we have not the one that he's ordered has not come in yet. And
We are
then-
waiting on a great many things to arrive from GWs.
Yeah, we are.
G-Dubs.
GW.
All right.
Ship
well,
things
let's
faster.
Get this,
Please.
Let's get this.
I know I ordered it yesterday, but please.
Shindig on the road. Let's start
We're
by.
in it today.
No, I ordered one yesterday too, and something before that.
So this is day
The books
1
Yesterday, ready?
when judging for painting was
The
happening.
other thing yesterday. the
So
books
this is
before that.
Chris's full board setup for painting judging. You can see how excited he is.
They didn't like me. I don't know why.
And then here
Who's they?
is the judges.
The judges.
The judge that really, really, really liked you.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
And then
The
here
one that
is-
made you uncomfortable. A little
Yes,
bit.
we're not gonna talk about that.
Here's Gavin with his board.
Yeah.
So that was kind of at the beginning there. Why are you trying to put the goat directly in front of your face?
I'm not. That's what the goat is sitting in.
Just a little guy right here.
His crit.
His and his appearance. That's what it says. His appearance.
He won 3rd place for painting. Woo!
So proud of you.
It's the first victory for Team Scrub.
Team Scrub.
Team Scrub.
Team Scrub.
Team Scrub.
There'll be a lot of team scrubbing.
Probably. We're
Tonight.
exhausted.
There might be tears. There might be hugging. There will probably be.
Team Scrub.
I don't
Scrub.
think we went to sleep prior to 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning any day that we were there.
And I walked into that.
And we were waking up at, or I was
7?
at least waking up at
7,
like
8:30?
6:37
Yeah.
every morning,
Yeah.
and with the inability to go back to sleep. So
And I walked into this weekend after being awake for almost 40-something hours straight.
that video's going up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We will be having all the
Oh,
vlogs going up on YouTube soon. I've only got one of them ready to go, but it'll be everything you saw in Discord and some that you did not see in Discord. They'll all be going up on YouTube. So we'll have those for you
We ran into an
soon.
issue where my phone decided it didn't want to upload any more videos to Discord and
Yeah.
would just sit there and spend forever.
And I couldn't upload them at all because I don't have Nitro, so super fun. But I've already started getting them ready for the YouTubes. We
The
were going to
tubs.
be dual streaming there today, but apparently I hadn't set up to do live streaming yet, and it's a 24-hour access period. 'Cause
G-dubs?
on them.
Be faster. YouTube, also be faster. Cool.
I don't know if 24 hours isn't bad.
I
No.
restarted my
But
slideshow
not.
when I minimized it. That's stupid. Okay.
I guess I
Alright.
get to see Chris's army again.
Hey, Morbidai. Yeah,
Hi,
you want to see the
Morbidai.
jerseys? Chris, stand up again.
Yep,
Do
we got jerseys.
Yeah.
They came in literally the day we got back.
Yep, we literally picked them up today. After we got back. So we got the
Got back.
Scrub Angel Hobbies.
Got back, walked in.
Yeah, we got.
Morbidai just asked if this is Chris's twin.
Yeah,
Basically.
At this point, you guys might as well be twins.
you're person number 4 now.
So what we should do is we should get you a Thousand Suns army and me a Tau army, where my army is green with black accents and
You
your
don't
army
want
is
to play
gold
Tau. Why would you do
with
that just for the
purple
memes?
accents. For the memes.
I said
For
why
the
would you-
memes.
For the memes.
Dead Meme says they look related, LMAO.
We got that at least 3 times from 3
we
different
just
people
completely
today.
freaked out.
Oh no. Oh, we're back.
We're back. Woo! We're back. Yeah,
Cat might have
I mean,
walked near a cable or something.
it can't be a scrub stream without technical difficulties,
This
right?
is what makes it a bona fide scrub stream.
Hi.
Kitten.
Hi.
3 different
If
people.
you come a little bit closer, I'm gonna catch you.
There was at least one person every day who was like, "Are you guys twins? Are you related? Are you brothers? Are you related?"
Morbidai says you guys honestly don't look related to me. I mean,
I
they're
mean-
not, so. They have
Your
similar.
hair's too curly.
I know.
They have similar hairstyles and similar facial
This
hair.
makes it look a little better. Hang on. This makes it more obvious. We'll put my hair back
I
up.
was gonna say, yeah, if you pull your hair back, it gets a lot
And I
harder.
cover my lower face.
Yeah, keep in mind, Morbidai, everybody who asked while that was happening, Gavin was wearing a mask at the time, so they couldn't see part of his faces. Part of his faces? You have more than one faces now.
I mean, Zinch. Praise be.
Zinch!
Did you just cover your face again?
We had one lady when we walked through the depression pit, as I refer to the casino floor, who honestly we said that we weren't related,
And she was like, "Oh yeah."
and it was so obvious that she didn't believe us in any way, shape, or form. It was minorly
It
hilarious.
was also funny because we went to an Italian restaurant to eat, and they're like, "Are you guys twins?" And then they're like, "No," and then they ordered basically the same meal.
Yeah, waitress asked if we were twins, and we were like, "No. Can I have Alfredo? Can I have shrimp Alfredo?"
Then they ordered the same food.
Yeah, we did not do a lot to dissuade people
No,
from
not
thinking
much.
that we were related in the long run.
He's 1, I'm A.
Yep.
Or am I 1 and you're A?
No, he's one,
I'm
you're
1,
A.
you're A.
But I'm B.
No, you're
So you're
A.
C?
No, you're A.
I'm ABC.
You can tell we spent all weekend together and didn't sleep much.
Yes, you can. 100% you can.
And here's the best thing: in about 3 weeks, at least
We're
the
gonna
two
do
of
it
them
again!
are driving all the way to Illinois, which is a 14-hour drive.
Chicago. We're gonna
Just
do it.
south of Chicago. They're driving to Adepticon.
And then we get to play in a tournament that's going to last even longer in one day.
Yep, it's 4 rounds on day 1 on Thursday,
You
and
gotta
then when
pre-prep.
Chris makes top 16, then he'll be playing on Friday.
I will take over piloting the Tau
As
when Chris
well.
makes top 16, so Chris can go attend his green
He
stuff
can do
class.
everything except top 4.
Yeah, I can do everything except top 4.
When you
You'll have
have
to
to
take over
leave,
top
I'll
4.
take over, and I'll attempt to do my best. So you can go to your green stuff class.
I do need that stupid class. I need to be able to do green stuff. I hate losing on conversions every time.
He thinks he
Because-
needs green stuff for conversions.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
For what I want to do, yes.
Sure. For general conversions, you really don't.
Yeah, they have
Alright,
general
well-
conversions in
Well,
most
they
of them.
argue about conversions. I'm going to throw pictures up in front of their faces.
How dare you?
So this was during Chris's first match. He played Space Wolves. Yeah, my pictures
They
are weird.
hurt. They hurt a lot. Like, it's remarkably hard to fight things that never give you the opportunity to shoot them.
Morbidai says he has a master's in sculpting and he'll teach you.
It is amazing how much less the Puppet Doggers hurt compared
the-
to a literal crusher stampede
Hold on, we're getting there.
of nits.
See the ghost kills hiding behind a tree? Not the ghost kills. The crisis suits hiding behind a tree here.
Yep. They tried. They tried to hide.
You can see all the
Be
Tau.
like tree.
They got ate pretty hard.
The ghost kill hiding behind a building. You can see the dogs on the other side of the building. The suits remind the tree make me think of a shack view.
Oh yeah, they're gonna come get you. Oh
That was
yeah.
really creepy. But it says it's kind of what I do for a living after all. Alright, that's good. So, let's talk about your round 1 real quick. And then we'll go to some Crusher Stampede.
Talk about my round 1.
Yeah.
So I played against somebody who had a lot more tournament experience than I did, and it really showed in his ability to place terrain better than me. And it was sad that I think I knew that I lost almost as soon as he placed his first piece of terrain. And that's one thing I think I don't like about the player place terrain, is that the ITC terrain included, for us at least, in that one, included a sheer wall that was probably that tall, that was just flat.
Don't kill nobody.
Don't kill Shadow Song.
You need that.
That was just flat, no windows, and an L shape. And he
Let me
put
see
it.
if I have a picture of that. Hold on.
And he put it just so that it was just covering the edge of the center objective so that I couldn't put any more terrain near it. And
It's technically what the ghost kill is by right here, I think. I'm sorry, the picture's upside down.
yeah, it was basically that, because that one was my L shape
Why
as
are-
well.
Okay, apparently it doesn't have all my pictures in here, so this is worthless.
But it made it so that he could be on that center objective without my being able to see him and shoot him. And that was the point where I was like, I realized that his units all move 12 or more, and from behind that wall could basically reach anywhere on my half of the board and charge without ever presenting a target to be shot.
How many commandments did he start with?
2. Yeah, apparently, Space Wolves at some point across the entire army basically had advance and charge and reroll charges, and
I think at least one of those is their chapter tactic, right? I think real charges, maybe?
possibly part of it. No, they have army-wide heroic intervention.
I know they do, but I thought they had something else too.
+1 to hit.
Oh.
Yeah, they have +1 to hit. Blood Angels have +1 to wound.
Maybe it was like an aura?
I'm not sure, but whatever it was, that it hurt a lot. I also prefer.
It would be nice Myrmidite if it was all the same on every table, but it was not.
Yeah,
No, they very specifically had different styles of terrain with different rules at different tables, just to mess with people, just so it wasn't the exact same terrain, so people weren't putting the exact same terrain in the exact same spots with the exact same rules. They actually did have variation on each and every table. By the way, each table had 3 boards on it. So each one of the 3 boards on the table had different terrain, and that was I think every table had the same terrain, but it was spread across the 3 boards.
A couple of the tables that I had duplicates.
There were also some tables that didn't have that terrain at all because of not having enough of it.
Yeah, like the actual ITC building series, like the pre-painted buildings that ITC sells, the tables that had those were great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And the others looked more scratch built, and I think were an older ITC set of terrain. Those ones didn't really function as well as I would have liked them to. There was a lot more just, this is a giant rock, it's in your way, if you're close to it you get light cover, which is kind of whatever when it comes to terrain. But like I only had to play one game on the buildings, and I think it was my favorite game of all of them. Though watching the final games, the top 8, I realized exactly how bad I was at placing terrain, and really thinking about it. But I think I prefer, I know I prefer if all of the tables are pre-set up and symmetrical.
So I found a good picture with the thing that he was talking about. Give me 1 second to get it to not be annoying.
I think I prefer a mix. I think that all of the terrain pieces, like Morbideye said, should be the same.
There we go.
And I think
this is the L shape, the one that he was talking about right here. Right?
Yeah, the little werewolfy dude on the right-hand side in the middle of that picture has another one of those L shapes right behind him.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, you can see the edge of it. Right by my face.
And if you see the, in the background there, all the stuff on that tray, most of that was in reserves.
This part right here.
Yeah, he put 1,000 points of jump packs in reserves.
There's another one right here, too. Another one of the L-shaped things, yeah?
No, so that one actually had a bottom floor and had windows, but it was windows probably half the width of a 28mm base. Like, they were super narrow, like maybe as wide as a horror. And there was like one of them every 3 inches. So they were only on the second floor. So it was really hard to actually see out of any of those ruins, which made them absolutely miserable to play on as a shooting army. Yeah, 50%. He had exactly 1,000 points and had exactly half of his power, or approximately half his power level in reserve.
Here's another view to kind of get an idea.
Because jump packs get to be dropped in. Yeah, see how small those windows are on that piece of terrain? It's just there was no way for me to see out of it, really. Which meant that I just had to be out in the open and get charged, which that wasn't, like, it wasn't the greatest of games as from the terrain perspective. He was super polite. I had a ton of fun playing him. I think both of us were pretty exhausted when we got to the table, being that, yeah.
Army
I think
familiarity.
the stream just freaked out, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, it's back.
I think a vast amount of that win for him was just my
And here's one more picture so you can see that terrain.
unfamiliarity with
Cover Gavin up, sorry.
with tournament format, as it were.
So that was Chris's first match. Now I'm going to cover Chris up a little bit, and we're going to talk about some Crusher Stampede. Let me get an image up here real quick. You're not actually covered up right now, just Stampede.
I don't know.
The guy was really cool. Almost all of my opponents were like legit, genuine gentlemen, and it was an honor and a pleasure to play with all of you. But y'all need some help. Those lists were mean.
So here's some Mutilith Vortex Beasts and Inari hiding from some Crushers down here. Yeah, we are back home.
Yep, we are back home.
Finally.
Chris accidentally went past Asheville without realizing it this morning.
Yes, I did.
We were like 30 minutes past Asheville, and Chris was like, "Oh wait,
He was like, "Oh,
are we supposed to stop in Asheville?
Where
Where is that?"
Are we going?
Yeah, I was like, I'm hungry. Isn't there supposed to be a biscuit place? I never saw pictures or signs for it, and Holly was asleep. So, because we left early this morning, we
Yeah, it was.
we did the
Crack.
right thing because we left at like 7:30 in the morning, and the bellhop was telling us that had we waited another like half hour, it all would have been just a garbage show trying to check out.
But aren't these nids really pretty?
They were gorgeous. They really were. The nids were pretty.
Look at that poor guy.
I mean,
That'd
let me
be
put it
his
this
face
way.
eaten off.
Let me put it this way. That guy got eaten. But then that guy, the Nid monster, the Hyrojewel then also died. They're just mean. That list is absurd. You shouldn't. Crusher Stampede is a fantastic list. It is a fantastic way to build your army. It is not fun to play against with an army that does not have the level of anti-tank and anti-monster fire that you need to be able to deal with it
And here's
efficiently.
here's a Mutilith Vortex Beast going at it.
Oh yeah.
Its Alpha Strike is rough.
If you can't survive that initial onslaught sufficiently, that game is over turn one.
Apparently Morbid Eye was up until 6 a.m. playing Elden Ring, so it worked out.
No spoilers.
He didn't give any spoilers.
I'm aware. I have to say that.
Okay. Alright. So that was round one. So obviously both of them lost round one. Do you guys have any questions about round one? Anything you want to ask before we move forward? Give them a second. Do the dance again. It's fun when you guys do that.
Nope, can't do it. I can't.
Dead Meme says, Elden Ring spoiler, you die a lot. Or Renee says, don't worry, I'll give you lots of spoilers.
I'll leave. Y'all want me to leave? Don't ruin my games for me.
I wouldn't actually read it if it was real spoilers. Is that Fred?
No,
it's not
Fred's that not Fred. That's George, I think.
Fred tripped on his way out of the portal.
No, Fred's hungry. His mouth is almost exactly at orc chest level.
Dead Meme says, I can't lie, I'm getting clapped. Alright, so, let's see. Chris's second round.
I guess I don't get to read chat anymore.
Nope, no chat. Please.
But I think what you're doing is joking, but please don't actually spoil anything for him.
I haven't been able to play games because I've been prepping for tournament.
So Chris's next game was against Grey Knights. And I think one of the best images from this particular one to show you guys
Oh, please tell me you have a funny one.
is going to be this one. And Chris will be able to explain why this is a good image to show you. Where'd it go?
Oh Lord, I am very confused as to what image you were about to bring up on the screen.
Oh, where did it go?
This is a game that I misplayed horribly. Like, there's no excuse for me losing this game beyond my own stupidity.
I'm gonna blame Tired.
No,
Why don't you
this
rotate
was
the
being
images over
thrown off
here?
by the fact that my opponent felt off
So why is this the image that I chose?
No. So, for one thing, this particular ethereal right here on top of this building, this is part of the problems with terrain. This building wasn't supposed to be a building. It was supposed to be a tower on top of the other building I had. And neither of us knew that. So we just assumed it was another piece of terrain. And I put it in towards the middle of the...
No, Moto is not in the background. Moto didn't come.
Yeah, Moto's elsewhere. That is the storm surge in the background, actually.
Yeah, that's the storm surge.
So, apparently, all of these buildings technically had interiors that you could go into. And my opponent had goldfish memory about everything I said. So I made it very clear, or I thought very clear, that this ethereal and his 2 drones were on top of the building. And he apparently forgot that and assumed that they were inside. And it was not until turn 4, when we had decided that we didn't have time for another round and therefore we were calling it, that I used those marker lights. And he was like, how? You're inside, you don't have line of sight. And I'm like, dude, they're on top. They've been on top the entire game. To find out that he had been struggling to figure out how to deep strike near them when he couldn't shoot them or smite them because they were inside and he didn't have line of sight. And I was like, no, dude, I literally have asked you about 3 times if you actually intended to target him. And each time you said no. So... Ethereal managed to survive the entire game almost exclusively because my opponent didn't realize he was standing on top of a building.
When you said sense of stone, I don't think that you meant be a statue.
This game was one that Chris cost himself, sadly, but he should have won.
Yeah, I definitely cost myself the game being greedy. I was being greedy. With how I played. I played far too aggressively, and he hit every save he needed to on a Dread Knight Grandmaster that managed to just kind of survive far too long. Hilariously, that Grandmaster survived on a singular wound until his last turn, where he needed to get some more points on Break Them Body and Soul. So he cast Smite with a different Dread Knight that was on 3 wounds at this ethereal.
There's a little Dread Knight hiding behind a building.
Yeah.
And you can see from my pictures the variety in the terrain tables as well.
But he cast Smite, rolled a 12, dealt himself D3 mortal wounds, which then chained mortal wounds into the Grandmaster and killed it.
Hi, baby.
Which hilariously, because of the way that primary secondary works, gave me 2 points on that part because 2 of his units died, and it gave me 5 points on a Borth Witch because 2 more Psychers died.
I mean, that is kind of funny.
So that was probably one of the more hilarious moments of my weekend, was Grandmaster or Dread Knights killing each other. But that opponent wasn't as familiar with the game as he should have been. That seems to be the story of my weekend, is that I met a lot of people who probably needed some more tournaments under their belt before they went to an event of this caliber, but...
It's funny, the dichotomy between your first round opponent and your second and third round opponents.
Yeah.
And his 6th round or 4 opponent.
I mean, I was staying
and
on day
5th, one.
And 5th, yeah.
I was staying on day
one.
No,
I had great opponents, but I had a lot of people who were very, very new to tournaments in general.
First round was they both lost round 1. We're now talking about round 2. First round, Chris played Space Wolves and got crushed, and Gavin played Crusher Stampede and got crushed.
But it was a good match. First round was good. It was a good game. I just got outplayed, and I will happily admit that.
Alright, so let's move on to...
Chris's round 3, I agree.
No, we're going to go to your round 2.
Oh, I know why you want to skip this one.
So as you can, this is kind of a nice little.
The picture should tell everything. Yup.
Stabby.
So
That's
Gavin
the
fought
one.
the Custards round 2.
I fought Custodes with a guy who really wanted me to use a chess clock.
He was a speedy player.
I played the fastest in that game that I have ever played. I finished that round with almost an hour, about 45
That was
minutes.
the fastest round I've ever seen you play.
I finished that entire game with 45 minutes left on the clock,
Yeah.
easily, almost an hour.
Yeah.
Just-
He was a very wanted to play quick guy. You can see here his bike surrounding poor Inari in the building.
He was very skilled. He knew what he was doing. He knew all of the rules he needed to know. He knew all the stratagems he needed to know. Never had to go back and look at his book, except for once where I had a clarification question and he had to go check. But he knew all of it by heart. He knew all the correct wording. He knew all of the movement ranges. He just knew exactly what he needed to do, performed it flawlessly, and then killed me. Basically, I think he actually legitimately just tabled me by 3. I think I had 2 models.
Not your fastest death, sadly. We'll get to that though. Here's he summoned in some screamies, and you can see the bikes behind the screamies.
All right, Grim.
Hi, Graham.
He's lurking.
Okay.
So that was
Screamy's trying to block a.
No, that was Screamy's getting summoned, attempting to charge the Contempt or Dreadnought that was on the other.
okay. So
the other point.
this person right here, this is Gavin, also known as Thousand Scrubs and Moonlit Inari, for anyone who's curious. I started using his actual name mid-tournament because I got sick of typing Thousand Scrubs and forgot I could type Inari, and yeah. So
It's whatever.
he's all of the above.
I have many. I am one with many names. Whatever
Yes.
you want to call me is probably something I've been called before. You're fine.
Mm-hmm.
The Screamers were summoned in an attempt to charge a Contempt or Dreadnought that was on another point that you can't see there, and it did not work, and they did not make the charge. I failed that charge twice after re-rolling it by 1.
You are correct. He did win a very important part of that tournament.
He did, and you can see his award full of dice right in front of him. He is Legion, for he is many. Oh, sorry, Kiwi.
Yeah. Zinch has blessed me, this I know. For the voices tell me so. Yeah, round 2 was rough, but any matchup with Custodes is going to be rough. I don't think I played poorly. I think that I just didn't have the tools I needed. I did the best I could with what I had and what I had left after his Alpha Strike, but that was a very slow, painful death, despite how quickly that match went.
So, Morbid, we only know top 3. We do not know anything beyond that.
I was 107th.
Oh, you do know?
Yes.
In painting, you were 107?
Oh, in painting, I don't know.
Painting is very weird for ITC at a lot of these events. ITC doesn't do any impression judging at all.
They have a rubric that they follow, strictly.
Yeah, it's just rubric based, so you just have to hit certain points on a rubric to get your points.
I missed one checkbox.
I think
that I shouldn't have
impression.
missed,
I think
but-
impression judging is done by the head judge. If
there's
there's a
ties.
tie at max points, like if you have multiple people who all have max points,
Yes.
you can. I think the head judge will make a call on it.
Now,
It's like the
Adepticon
fourth
does
time
have
I've
impression
seen real snake
judging
eyes on
if you
those.
score
Don't use
max.
those dice.
There's a lot of competitions that do have impression judging, but this particular one does not.
It's pretty.
There are max points for painting. So the way that this particular rubric works, they go down a checklist and say, do you have this? Okay, is it this level, or this level? So for example, is all your models painted is your first question. Yes.
Yep.
Are they painted in a cohesive scheme? Yes. Are they painted with more than one highlight or shadow? It's really basic check marks on a lot of this stuff. And the more in depth you get, you haven't got a ton of points for conversion and different things that he had on his base and things like that.
Repos, conversion.
Yeah, reposing and conversion's huge. Weathering's huge.
I
Yeah, I just I will say I dislike the fact that weathering is required. Like, it was legitimately... I just straight up lost points because I chose to have my army be clean. And that doesn't make sense to me. Like...
It should be bonus points.
Yeah.
And not a required thing.
Yeah.
Although we don't know necessarily what was and wasn't like part of the core rubric and what was just additional points. There might have been key things that were like
well, we also,
this, and
we've
this.
been
Because a
looking
lot
at
of
the
them...
Adepticon rubric, though. Weathering is legitimately on that one.
I
Yes,
saw on
it
the
is.
rubric on this weekend that there were like checkbox, and then it would open up a little menu with more checkboxes, and he could go down and check.
Yeah, but
and
like
then,
I was standing over him watching him click the checkboxes, and he was like, weathering, nope, you look pretty clean, and then just scroll by, and it's like, why do I lose points because my army is clean?
So, the other thing with that, Demi, is you have a choice on whether you want to compete in the painting competition or not, and a lot of people don't.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
But it's weird. Painting rubrics for ITC are very strange.
Gyrax.
They value Girax?
Yeah.
Gyrax.
Hey you, how you doing?
Alright,
Yeah,
so
they
let's-
wanted parade ready, but they wanted it to be
Realistic.
weathered and anything, and I'm like,
So to give you guys
But-
some context, just because the painting competition is so weird for ITC, I'm going to put an image up, and this is obviously not something that either of our people did. 140.
cube.
Minicube.
Oh, poop. Okay, I got it.
Cube.
Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. 141. Why are you not here?
But yeah, the painting was weird. And I wish that, like, I dislike when tournaments don't give you a painting rubric ahead of time.
So you know what to aim for.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was going to show you guys an image. Never mind.
Though I am considering bringing, even though this army is significantly better placed than Imperial Knights, I'm considering bringing Imperial Knights because, as far as I'm concerned, my Knights hit every point on the rubric for Adepticon. So,
That
And
being
for
said,
this
but
guy-
by definition, Battle Warman is not parade ready. Parade ready is before the battle, so it wouldn't.
They
It wouldn't
weren't
be
aiming
more
for
yet,
they
great
weren't
hearts.
they weren't ready for parade. They weren't looking for parade ready. They were looking for whatever happened to be on their rubric, and this year happened to be weathering. They
when
want
it says,
realistic
what if you're
weathering.
playing Chaos Demons? How are you supposed to weather those?
yeah, I don't know. Legitimately, I don't know.
If you're on
I guess
if you're
it's-
in the desert, you can like brush up some dust on stuff. I guess.
Yeah, I'm
Make it look
guessing you
dusty?
have to use things like Blood for the Blood God on your swords. Or fangs or something.
Yeah.
Or have be forced to use pigments. But, like, I don't know how you'd weather purely organic things.
Alright, so round 3, I was in a very lucky position on round 3 because this is where they played compared to each other. So,
Me and my kilt.
Gavin
And
was...
me and my butt.
Gavin was on the side by his own head.
You just, like, sticking your butt out in that hallway.
I had to lean over really far. My back hated me the whole time.
But they were right next to each other, which made it very easy for me because I wasn't having to walk all the way around the hall multiple times this time. But different problems got in the way of this. Oh, we lost our camera. There we
He's
go.
back.
Different problems got in the way this round, which we will be touching on in a moment. I'm actually going to go to Gavin first because I think his is going to be a little bit less involved than Chris's will be.
My
For
round
this
3 was
particular
glorious. I had the absolute privilege of I don't
whole
remember
weekend.
his name. I don't
Both days.
I don't remember his name, but he's the guy who runs the Atlanta Open or the Atlanta Warzone Atlanta.
Warzone Atlanta.
It's the
Yeah.
guy. He and his wife run Warzone Atlanta, and he brought a Black Legion list with 200 cultists.
Legend.
Abaddon, 3 squads of Warp Talons, a single squad of Obliterators, and 200 cultists. A Sorcerer Intimidated Arm and a Sorcerer on foot. And that was the list. That was the entire list.
Glorious.
It was
to look
glorious
on.
slaughter. It was so good.
He had the same rolling cart that has become like the tournament cart for Warhammer events, and the entire top of it was just
actually I have a
full
picture
of
of his
cultists.
cart because it was so funny. I couldn't resist. Hold on, let me grab
Like
his cart picture.
It was so glorious to look upon. And
so this is not all the cultists because some of them were on the table. This is after Gavin had killed a bunch of them.
this is the matchup that Gavin was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the kill point secondary, right? Like I just get to kill.
He maxed kill points twice over.
No.
No, he did, Chris.
With the bonus points, because you get bonus points when you hit certain thresholds. I scored
189 cultists.
I scored max points for no prisoners twice.
Because not only did he kill the 189 cultists, he killed all the Warp Talons. He killed Abaddon. He killed the Obliterators. He killed...
At the end of that game, my opponent and I both looked each other like in the eyes and shook hands and said, "This was the best game I've had all weekend. Thank you so much," because it was fantastic. It was such a good game. He was laughing. We were joking. We were both having a good time. Lots of dice were rolled. It was fantastic. It was good. I look forward to playing against him again someday.
I would love to have more opportunity. I think this year if we can drive down to Atlanta for the Warzone Atlanta.
Here you can see the Edge of a Mutalic Vortex Beast and some of the cultists and the Warp Talons.
They ate good day one. They ate so good day one. For those that don't know, they make 15 attacks.
Oh, your camera went out again. And it's back.
Oops.
Why is my camera flickering?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
They make 15 attacks at strength 7, AP 1, damage 1. With the tentacles, specifically. So, they eat a lot of cultists.
Unfortunately, there were some major issues round 3 that had nothing to do with Gavin's game, which kept me from taking as many pictures round 3.
Let's see if that...
And that all had to do with Chris's round 3.
Speaking of Stodes.
Which was Custodes. But that's not what makes his round 3
It
interesting.
isn't, it isn't.
Chris's round 3 was a different kind of special. So here's a picture of his... Oh, okay, no camera at all.
Yeah, we're flickering hardcore and I don't know why.
So here is Chris coming at some Custodes. Now, maybe you look at that Custodian and think it doesn't look fully painted. Tell me what you think.
It could be a style.
So, it wasn't that Morbidai.
I know, but
I'm trying to find the right way to phrase this, because it's not my... I strongly feel that it was not... I strongly feel that it is not my opponent's fault here.
No, we feel badly for her. And we feel like this whole situation was completely and utterly unfair to her. Just as much as it was to Chris. And I'm going to take pictures down so you can talk.
The only way that I feel like I can really put this is that for me, part of the tournament experience is respecting your opponent and the event that you're in enough to know what you're doing. Even just the basics of the game. My opponent had literally been handed models the night before and a codex, told to read it, and had never played 40K prior to that morning.
Other mini games, so there was a little bit of prior game experience.
Had played War Machine, Hordes before, but as somebody who tried to get into War Machine and Hordes, I can tell you that those two are not particularly compatible. We did not get past round 3. Legitimately, we barely got past round 2. Legit.
There was a lot of that this weekend.
So
despite 3-hour rounds,
she didn't know what she was doing, and continued to look at her book or at her cards and wouldn't say anything to me. She would just go silent for extended periods of time, trying to look something up. And so that would have caused slow play issues anyway. But on top of that, there were constantly people hanging around that I don't believe knew her in any way.
Some of them did, some of them didn't.
To attempt to give her advice on how to run her army, or just flirt, I don't know. But that was also ending up slowing things down a lot.
I was having when your husband's part of a professional gaming team and you're there and there are spare models and you're bored.
Yeah, the group that she was with had a lot of people in it, 2 of which made top 8.
There were like 7 or 8 of them that were playing in the event, one of which was her husband, we think. And then was her husband?
Yeah.
One of which was her husband. Most of them were playing Custodes, and I think that she got handed the extra models that they brought that they didn't put in their list for whatever reason.
Yeah, I am fairly convinced that she got additional armor models. I don't know for sure, so I'm trying really hard not to draw judgment on the situation too badly.
Considering that was her third
but I was
game
having
of 40K.
I was literally having to teach her how to do things, and I was being what I thought was very, very generous as far as sloppy play problems, because I'm not the kind of person to bring that up. But on top of the entire game being very rough, I'll put it that way. It was a very rough game. It was highly uncomfortable for me. I know it was highly uncomfortable for Holly as she was trying to take pictures and hang out.
And at the very beginning, it was okay in the very, very beginning because we were talking to her. She was nice. I was trying to help. He was trying to help. But as other people started showing up and inserting themselves into the situation, when it's not their game and it wasn't, it felt like they didn't know her. It made it quite impossible.
Yeah, like it was very, very emotionally rough to be in that match, and I think it also ended very poorly because they actually called dice down
Due to no fault of your own.
It is not your fault.
They called a hard dice down, which they had not done on either of the previous rounds, which was...
Yeah, I mean, Gavin's first round went straight through lunch because no judge told them to stop. Like, legitimately went straight through lunch.
I played 40K for almost 11 hours straight.
Yeah, they did not have a visible timer to anyone on the floor, and they didn't make loud announcements about time or anything like that. So they called a hard dice down, which had not happened before, during her third turn, and she was going first. Right after she completed her charge phase. At which point the points were 39-40 in my favor. But she had a secondary, grind them down, that scores at the end of the battle round. Which is if you kill more of your opponent's units, then you can... then you score 3... then they do, in a battle round, you score 3 points. Very good objective for Custodes. I have no problem with it. So, wanting to make sure that I scored it right because I was the only one keeping score. I called a judge to find out whether she got those points since the
round never ended.
The battle round ended prematurely, and I never had the opportunity to respond. And I was perfectly comfortable if they said, well, the round ends immediately right there. she gets the points because rules is written. She killed more units than you did. I'm like, that's fine. Like, I don't have an issue losing that game if that's how that goes. And the first judge who came over said, rules is written, yes, that's how it happens, but I'm going to get the head judge. Got the head judge. He comes over, and we explain the situation to him, and his ruling is that we have to play out the remainder of the turn, doing only what is minimally necessary to score points, including I can shoot at her in order to deny, grind them down, and because this is the last round, I will score my primary at the end. Keeping in mind, in this situation, that I had been denied the primary both of the previous turns. And this allowed me to deny, grind them down, and get 12 on the primary, and I think score engage on all fronts. Like, it completely flip-flopped the score from being a 2-point game to being a 39-55 game. And I could literally I understand on the judge's part that this was the right call because it's the only fair way to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I could literally see her being emotionally crushed while this is happening.
Well, I mean, she even said to you, and I think it's unfair that she did this, but she said to you point blank, you're trying to win a game, you're trying too hard to win a game against someone who's never played before. Like, or something like that.
Yeah, and I legitimately wasn't. Like, I was trying really hard to just be like, I don't think I can kill any, like, I fired at some things, and I said, I legitimately don't think, like, I fired the stuff that has a capability of killing this. I don't think I can. I'm going to call it good here. As far as my shooting and trying to kill things, I'm just going to score to these points. And, like, I felt horrible. Like, I still do. 2 days later, I still feel very bad about how that game went. I'm allowed to feel horrible. I know it was the right thing to do, and I know it was the right call.
Not your fault.
Or when I just yelled, you're at a professional tournament, which is exactly right. She had no business being there at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you were exceedingly nicer than you should have been to her in a tournament setting.
Unfortunately, I'm not the kind of person...
The round should have been forfeited on her end, with all the stuff going on.
Assuming her ticket was paid for, it was her spot with her name on it. It was her spot to do whatever she wanted to do in this tournament. If she wanted to come into the tournament and legitimately just sit there and just slow play the whole tournament, since the judges didn't seem to be calling slow play at all weekend.
I wouldn't call her slow playing for the most part. I would call her just new.
Sure, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if she had shown up and that's what she wanted to do, that's her prerogative. Since the judges, again, didn't seem to be calling.
When I say she had no business being there, what I mean is there's multiple people that I think Chris played that didn't have a business being there. You can spend your money however you want. You can go to a tournament and not know your rules. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if you're going to go to a professional tournament and not know how to play the game, you can not get mad if the person across the table from you takes it like a professional tournament and calls you on everything. You can't. I'm sorry.
And honestly, at the end of the day, there's a lot of me that I have a hard time doing it because it probably would have caused her to just forfeit at the very beginning.
Exactly, Devin.
But it's the kind of thing where this is a point where I should have asked for a chess clock.
Yeah.
ITC rules allow me to ask the judge for a chess clock, and
you should ask for a chess clock on your round 2 opponent as well, but...
I mean, so there's different things on that, and it's one where I feel like I want to buy a chess clock and have it available.
I'm going to try and get one,
and
too.
I kind of want to just run a chess clock on every game to be just straight fair about it.
Oh, yeah.
Keely, don't eat the box.
Either have a chess clock or have somebody there managing the chess clock.
I mean, that's on the players to do. That's on the players to do.
Sure.
But
for those of you who don't know, using a chess clock in 40K, you set each person's time limit as half the time of the game. And if one person runs out of time, they no longer get to play, and the other person gets to.
They can make all applicable saves. They can roll any dice that they are required to by what their opponent is doing. and they can continue to score points based on objectives and secondaries that they already have achieved. Like, if they are still holding 3 objectives and more at the end of the turn, they can still score Stranglehold and things like that. But that is all they are allowed to do.
And Gavin's round 2, of course, did use a chess clock.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you use a chess clock?
But I also...
aggressively
That is how
it.
chess clocks work for 40K. Now, it's not allowed at every tournament you go to, but ITC rules allow for chess clocks at the very least.
I will say, it's not against the rules at most tournaments. It's just not
readily available.
Endorsed.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It makes it for a fairer game. It discourages slow playing, and rewards people who can play within their time limit better.
On the other hand, it adds an extra layer of stress on top of an already semi-stressful game, especially when you're playing.
That your opponent was a speed demon.
Not even talking about my game. Just adding a timer onto anything adds a layer of stress that's not normally there.
Yeah,
there's a looming clock in the background the whole time, but adding a much faster, much smaller clock on top of that, that's only ticking when you're doing something, is pure stress.
Yeah, and it's I can't imagine what that would have, like, if the way that game ended affected her how it did. I can't imagine how it would be to be asked in your 3rd game ever to play on a chess clock.
But I will say, another thing I will say is she played all 6 rounds. She did not quit. She did not drop. And there were a lot of seasoned ITC people who didn't finish the tournament. So on that, good on her. The fact that she tried in a really bad situation, good on her. I have no ill will, and nor does Chris nor Gavin against her. I think the situation she was in and the situation Chris was put in was atrocious.
For sure. It was not her fault. It was the situation she was in. I think that she should not have been in the situation she was in. I think that part of it was the army she was playing. I think that part of it was the fact that it was legitimately her 3rd game of 40K ever at a tournament at this level, and she happened to run into Chris. Yeah. Which is just random chance. Like, there was a storm of unfortunate circumstances that led to that game happening the way that it did.
Yeah. But she did go on. She did go on to win 2 games and went 2 and 4. So that tells you something about Custodies a little bit too.
Yeah, Custodies are
a lot.
Are busted.
A lot.
Yeah, they're busted in half, and I don't know how to fix them without making them garbage.
Just put them back where they were.
But that wraps up day 1 of our 2-day tournament experience.
Mm-hmm.
And they both left tournament day 1 and 2.
Yep.
So
1 and 2. Day 2 was a lot more fun for me. I don't think it was a lot more fun for this guy.
We'll get there. So day 2 for Chris started with the first round was Salamanders, right?
No, it was.
It was the Be'lakor.
It was Be'lakor.
His first game.
Wish I played that game.
His first game was really cool because he got to play the Be'lakor Army of Renown. And
Keeper
I have
of
really
Secrets,
fun pictures on this.
Lord of Exalted Keeper of Secrets, Exalted Lord of Change.
It is that Lord of Change for those curious.
The Lord of Change who just doesn't die.
The unfried Kentucky chicken.
And here is the show off of the day. Oops, upside down. Sorry, guys. These pictures are all kinds of mess. It was the unkillable Lord of Change versus the Storm Surge that couldn't fire anything into him.
I couldn't hit it. He couldn't kill me, but I couldn't hit him. I think he had 6 wounds left. Those were the only two of the last targets for both of us remaining on the board. Be'lakor died. The Keeper of Secrets died. My Crisis Suits died. My Riptide died. Just everything died. My Fire Warrior shot Be'lakor to death. That was fun. Be'lakor turned off my ability to do actions in the middle of an action.
Twice?
Yes, twice.
No.
And then I failed another action because I rolled the 6. The only number that I could roll to run away. And ran away.
I love that model so much.
It was really good.
Every time I look at that model, I want to buy it again.
It's a very pretty model.
I could run that. I could run that list. I could run a list with him in it. I could run Bird Force 1. I could do it.
I do not have a good
I could do it.
picture. Oh, yes, I do. 241.
I could do it.
But no, that was a fun game. There was not a lot to really talk about in it, unfortunately.
Can I buy Be'lakor when I get both of my Lords of Change painted?
Maybe.
I mean, it's your money. You can do whatever you want, but...
Here you can see Be'lakor, the Keeper of Secrets, and the Lord of Change.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, you're the first person to actually kill my Keeper of Secrets, and I was like, yeah, I know. I had to prioritize it because if that thing made my lines, I just died. And he was like, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, I know, I made the right call, but...
Big yike.
But, like, it was unfortunately not a lot to talk about. It was about as average a game of 40k as you could possibly ask for. It was very close.
He seemed really soft-spoken. It didn't seem like they had a whole lot of conversation from what I saw. It was
No.
more just playing the game and just playing the game.
Yeah, it was playing a very polite, nice game of 40k.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to say that's a negative.
I think it was one of those. I think we both needed caffeine and didn't have it. But it was... There also wasn't a whole lot of, oh my god, yeah, or oh no moments. Like, nothing went horribly right and nothing went horribly wrong for either one of us. We both were out there doing things, and he just did his a little bit better and won. Like, that's about all I can say about that match. It was a very good game, but... Oh, I had coffee at that point, but it was still getting into my system for sure.
These tournament rounds were starting way early.
Day 1, round 1 started at 10. Day 2, it started at 9:30. And the day went until 9:30 each day as well.
Yeah.
So it was 12-hour days.
If you didn't actually take a stop to break, it was a good 12 hours of straight Warhammer.
And because judges were not calling rounds very well the entire time, so many people went basically from one round straight into the next one without a break. And there was a 45-minute break for lunch, and then the other breaks for 30 minutes. So even if you were done right at time or even a little early, it wasn't a long break to begin with. You have to wake up before 9 a.m. for a tournament.
Yeah, you have to also keep in mind that
this is what happens after 12 hours, 2 days of 12 hours of straight Warhammer.
This was yesterday. Do it again. Now that I have it big and ready to go. This is sped up without sound. With sound, it is not language appropriate for
No, not at all.
for stream.
Again, you have to also keep in mind that, as I said earlier, we got a whopping total of about 6 hours of sleep. And
yes, Chris does cuss at it. He calls Moonlit the B word at least once.
Yep, I do.
This is obviously sped up at 200 speed as well.
They were trying to make me go to dinner, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you
We're
were
trying to get you
hungry.
to get up to go eat.
You were like, I'm hungry. We're like, let's go get food. You're like, I'm comfy. Get out of bed.
I had built a nest out of all the pillows y'all
You
had been
literally
throwing at me.
stolen every single pillow from the room.
Pillow?
I
and
don't
blanket.
think it was stealing when they were yeeted at me.
Because you wouldn't move.
And I simply absorbed them into the greater nest.
Anything that got thrown at Chris got somehow put under part of his body. Like, he just, did I take a picture of that?
I build nests.
You know,
it's
I
what
think
I do.
I think I took a picture of that on the actual camera, sadly. So I can't show you the Chris nest.
Alright.
Alright, so Gavin's round 2.
My round 4 was Nick, I think, right? It was Necrons?
Yeah.
That sounds right, yeah. Nick's a good guy. Nick's one of our locals here at Atomic. Nick's a good guy. His list was solid. He's a solid player. I lost that game because I made a bad call, and I own that. That was I made a call based on what I thought would be good going into that matchup, and I was mistaken.
Here is his army. It was Silver Tide Necrons.
Not quite.
Not quite Silvertide.
It was Novak. I think it was Novak.
Novak is Silvertide.
Whichever. No. What's the melee one?
Yeah, Novak.
It was Silver Tide.
He was not playing at Silver Tide, but okay.
How many warriors did he have?
2 squads, and a bunch of immortals, and a Catan Shard of the Void Dragon that decided it wanted to eat everything in my list, basically.
Now you gotta tell the story about the Katana the Dragon.
I managed to get him down to basically dead, and then he started eating his way into my lines, and then my little Zangor Shaman here, who had done his job.
The
goat on disc, the only acceptable goat, charged him in melee combat and killed him in melee combat. Goat is blooded.
It is hard. Most Silvertide lists right now are anchored by 20-man warrior blobs with chronomancers and or technomancers to pick them back up again, and generally speaking use the Silent King in order to give them pluses to hit in melee so that they are...
He didn't have the Silent King, he had Cesrak.
Yeah, but he was using Cesrak instead of a technomancer, which was picking them back up again.
He had a chronomancer.
He did have a chronomancer. Like, he was playing
most
of it.
He was playing a list that had nothing over 10 wounds. I think the highest wound count was 9 on the Catan Shard.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting take. It meant that a lot of secondaries that would have been good ordinarily against Necrons were not good against Necrons. It was a good match. It was a good game. I lost hard, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all my games except for the last one.
Cesarek is the Silent King, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
not Cesarek, Cesraz.
The Cesrakon Dynasty.
Illuminar Cesraz is what he was running.
Yeah, the crab-looking, spidery Fabius Bile, but
the big technomancer,
the big one with the soul grabby, purple guy. Slush.
I don't think I have a picture of him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about from the purple slush, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what you mean by purple slush, but that's different. Sorry.
I've painted him. He's on. I'm pretty sure he was on Instagram at one point.
Big spidery looking guy.
I believe it.
Yeah. Nasty.
Yeah.
Good guy. Good game. Good game.
I feel like you and I both had the same relative experience on round 4 of this is just a solid game. Nothing super great. Nothing super bad.
That mission was rough. Mission 4 was terrible.
Mission 4 was 21, which is no sanctuaries.
Hold the center.
Yeah, that's the no infiltration. 5 points if you have the center at the end of the game one.
Yep.
So it's just a rough mission.
Yeah.
Those salamanders. Yes, this was Chris's round 5.
Yep. Relatively new player, great player. I adored playing against him. He and his significant other were there, and were an absolute joy to interact with.
Wasn't she the one that wandered off because she had made friends with
somebody else's wife,
previous opponent's wife in the last round?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
He was playing at the table next to me in round 4.
I do not have Tabletop Simulator. I have thought about getting it on multiple occasions and just continue to forget to do so.
This is what Chris dubbed his
Tower of
Power in this game.
Broadsides on the bottom, ethereal in the middle, and a cadre fireblade on top.
That was his Tower of Power during his Salamanders game.
Doing things. Doing stuff and things. That game was tight. It did come down to a lot of I made charges.
Took me a second on that one.
I actually had to charge with crisis suits from behind covers at a tank to get it to stop shooting at me. Because it wasn't going to hurt the crisis suits, and the 2 crisis suits I had left needed to live. And had I not done that, then they definitely would have died.
we almost lost everything to Blade Guard vets before again my Fire Warriors decided to be champions, and I used like 3 different stratagems to get them to AP -3 and 6's auto wound, and they killed 5, I think, Blade Guard vets.
It would be cool to have a lot of good
Like
stratagems to use.
I think they killed 5 Blade Guard vets in a single salvo of shooting because of like it was on round 3 and I had selected Kalyon, so I had exploding 6s, and then I also had a Cadre Fireblade nearby, so I had double exploding 6s, and was just like I think I rolled 20 dice and hit 26 times.
This was one of my least board setups of terrain, though.
Yeah, I hated the terrain. Like, the terrain was just terrible. But, this is a game that would have gone very, very differently had I just simply remembered that I actually have a stratagem to make my Storm Surge count on the, top level. And I think that one of the dumbest things that happened was that he charged my Storm Surge when it was on 1 health, and I fired the Pulse Blast Cannon with 2 ATVs. He charged it with 2 ATVs, and I fired the Pulse Blast Cannon at them. It hit once, but because I was in Kalyon, exploded into 2 hits, both of those wounded, and just flattened both of the ATVs on Overwatch. That was dumb.
I'm off center, I think. Oh, fine. That was dumb.
But, like, the town are just being like, yeah, each of those bikes takes 12 on Overwatch. It was like, oh, that was bad.
Sounds about right for a giant cannon.
Yep. This guy did very well all weekend. I can't be happier that the Storm Surge is actually a viable unit now. It was fantastic.
Gavin's fifth round opponent was Gene Stealer Cult.
That was a good game. I loved that game. The guy I played with was super nice and very, very communicative. Communicative.
Yeah, he did a really good job explaining a very difficult codex.
The new if you haven't had a chance to look at it, the new GSC book is absurd.
Zippy wants to know what were the stratagems you used to get to AP -3, and hello USG Unknown. Welcome to our recap of Cherokee.
So pulse rifles have an 8 AP -1. I use coordinated assault, which you choose 2 of your units within 18 inches of an enemy. They can only fire at that enemy, but they both units get AP -1. I think it's called Pulse Onslaught, I think is the other one. That makes you, instead of using the normal rules for rapid fire weapons, you just fire double shots, and any core unit that fires gets an additional AP -1. And then Pulse Barrage, I think, is the third one. That is the one that gives you 6s to hit auto wound. So I used all 3 of those to ensure that I was getting as much through those Blade Guard vets as possible.
Here is a nice picture of some Gene Stealers attacking the MVB.
That was a very good game. It was that codex looks like a lot of fun to play, and it was a lot of fun to play against too. My opponent was very nice. Actually asked me where I came from because he was wondering if we could pick up some more games after the tournament was over. And it was sad because he lives out in Tennessee, and that's a bit of a drive.
The wrong direction.
A little bit of the wrong, just a little bit though. I look forward to potentially going up there to play more games at some point in the future. But nice guy. I lost that game too. I went 1-5. I think I only won the cultist game.
Yeah.
I know I only won the cultist game.
But you won painting.
I did win painting, but it's not the point.
But it's exciting.
The game,
we're bragging about it. So.
Round 5 was very, very good. I just got outplayed by a codex with more tricks than me. The pilot was good, the codex was good, and I played right into what he wanted me to play into, basically, and paid for it.
It didn't help that you know the codex basically none. Because nobody around here plays Gene Stealers.
I still want to pick up Gene Stealers.
I know. We know. There was a lot at the beginning, and then it very quickly became a much more ordinary codex. A lot of the tricks are in the initial stages where all you see that little like crossfire mark there, the little X-shaped mark on the picture.
Chris, can you point to it? Nope. Under your
on the table. On the table.
Over your models. Keep going.
Shadowfinger pointing at it. Yeah. That thing. If you flip it over on the other side, it has like a little radar symbol, like a little radar like readout with little blips on it, and they're called blip tokens. And what the codex allows you to do is instead of deploying models, instead of deploying models, you put little blip tokens down, and then it's any unit you want to deploy at either the beginning of your movement phase, or at the beginning of your turn, or at the end of your opponent's movement phase. You just get to pick whatever model you want, whatever unit you want to go down on those blip tokens.
So those are the blip tokens here. You see the little tokens on the table?
And you can't blip your whole army in, but you get to just put a token down. Okay, it's a unit deployed. I'm going to deploy this over here. I'm going to put another blip right here. Okay, your go. And just not knowing what's going to be there. Like,
Because they start underground is how it works?
Yeah, off the table, underground, undetected, something like that. You don't know what it is or what it could be. You can see what is in his list, but not necessarily where things are. Like, some of those blips were trucks. Full of guys. That he just blipped in.
He had a lot of models.
There's a lot of models. That was such a good game. I loved that game. That was a good game.
I still want to pick that army up.
We know.
So Chris rolled Thousand Suns for his last game, but it was the wrong Thousand Suns player in some ways.
He tried to manifest it real hard. I kind of wish he had.
I tried so hard.
I really wish you had.
I told you I was going to play against you in round 4, and I ran into chaos, and then I tried, and I was like, fine, I'll go in with you on your round 6. And I fought Thousand Suns, and it wasn't you, and I was sad. I was very sad.
But he was a good guy.
He was a very good guy. He was also very new. He did know how to play, but was fairly unfamiliar with the army itself.
And unfortunately for him, Chris knew the codex better than him.
Yeah, it was a good game because he had never, I tried to make it a good game for him. I definitely could have scored higher. Again, this is one where...
Oh, he literally denied the guy letting him score higher at the end.
Yeah, he tried to simulate the last, 2 turns, and I was like, nah, man, we have, not enough time to finish, so we're just not going to start again. We're going to call dice down right now, and we're just going to score it. And it was one of those ones where it's it's the end of the 6th round. Battle points aren't going to matter anymore.
Not for you guys.
I have had a good weekend. I would rather, I have won this game. I know that I've won this game. Let's just call it. I was helping him. It definitely helped that I have played Moonlit enough that, I knew what he was trying to do. And I actually reminded him of some stratagems.
He helped his Storm Surge get killed.
He was I'm going to smite, okay, I'm going to roll, and I was, because he needed to do a certain amount of damage to a unit.
The Storm Surge.
No, it was Fire Warriors first, and I was like, hold on, he was just he just immediately covered his dice without looking at him, and I was like, a reminder, you have a stratagem to make your smite a flat 3,
for one command
and
point.
You have a Cabal points to add an additional D3. And it was stuff that, at some point he had read it, and just, in the moment he wasn't going to remember it.
A lot of the flexibility in the Thousand Suns Codex comes from the multiple different tables of abilities that you have to keep track of simultaneously to maximize each individual cast.
Yeah, it also didn't help that, he was playing 2 Chaos Predators to be his anti-tank.
Props to him.
Which was apparently doing work for him all weekend because nobody bothered to shoot them. And I felt a little bit bad because I went first and I blew both of them off the table in one turn.
We've been trying to get him to do... I'm on camera now. We've been trying. He doesn't listen.
Sorry.
What?
Stop being
No. No. I won't. I'm going to be the nice guy because I like being the nice guy. And if it costs me best in faction, then it cost me best in faction, and that's fine. I don't know what's going on.
Tactics says he's defiant.
Like, being nice is one thing that I will never stop doing because...
But you can stop being as nice as you're being.
There's a difference
But
between
honestly,
being nice
in
and
this
giving your opponents extra points.
Yes, so...
If it hadn't been round 6, and it hadn't been a point where there was no way he was going to the top, and things were different, like if this game hadn't been...
Wear a muzzle.
If this game had been one that would have put him in the top had he not done that kind of stuff, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
If you get him a muzzle, it's going to me. I'm sorry. Don't ask questions.
No, like as she said, like had this game mattered for the overall tournament, there's no way I would have been like, all right, fine. Like if you want to hand me all of those points, like that's fine. But I wanted, like, he and I had good banter the entire time. He was incredibly nice. We talked about painting. We talked about the game. I know, isn't it? But it was just, it wasn't going to affect anything other than wouldn't have felt right, and I was in a happy place. Like I had been struggling a little bit with mental health over the early part of the weekend, and by the 6th round I was in a very good place and I wanted to stay there. So I was very much just
Plus,
going to...
Chris likes it when every one of his opponents goes, you were the nicest person I played. I learned more playing you than I've ever learned in a game of 40k.
I was going to say, I think at least 3 of my opponents were just like, you're the best person I've ever played 40k against. And like, I would much rather have that be their reaction than score an extra 10 points at the end. Is it going to cost me podiums? Sure. But at the end of the day, I want my opponent to be happy with the game that they chose to spend their time and money and effort to have with me.
Or would I want those extra 10 points? I don't
Being
even know
painted.
what they are for.
Being painted.
I mean, there are 10 points for being painted.
Yeah, so, like, again, had it been like... But I also don't think that if it were in a position where the podium was at risk... where getting into top 8 was it possibly at risk, that I'd have met him and I would be against an opponent where it would have been a lot
of a different game.
Because
it probably would have been much more like your round 4 game would have been. Because your round 4 game was someone who was serious and was there for the tournament first and foremost.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't have...
And the opposite side of this, guys, and you're going to see it right now, is Gavin fought someone who was doing what you guys are telling Chris to do in round 6. And Gavin had a miserable round 6.
Gavin scooped it up at the end of round 2 before he got a turn. And was out. Done. Packed up his stuff and went up to the room because was done.
Yeah, he walked away and went to the room. He was having such a rough battle. He fought his sisters round 3. And
that's all that needs to be said.
Uniquely situated against him, unfortunately.
As much as people complain about custodies, they are rather forthcoming and like forward with their bluntness, with their overpowering ability. Sisters literally get to choose a good chunk of the stuff that they get from whatever like sub-faction they get at the table after seeing your list. Oh, you playing Thousand Sons? I guess I'm going to pick the one thing in the entire book that gets to counter you on a 5.
He is up for commissions again. They are leaving for another tournament in 3 weeks, though. Tactics. This is right after he won his trophy, though. Because we went back to the room pretty early on Sunday and watched the final match from the room laying down. Because we could hear what was going on better.
Not on Sunday, on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we watched the final match for the winning, we watched it on Twitch in the room, and they started naming out awards, and they go, Gavin, and I go, oh.
Pien
So we had to walk back down to the venue and pick up his award. And so you can see the big smile on his face under there. But this is right after he got his reward. This is the last picture from the
I'm still
Cherokees.
confused.
You shouldn't be.
Confused.
You earned it.
Confused.
Stop it.
Doesn't feel like it.
You
It's not
earned it.
real. It's a dream. Nope.
I will wet willy you if you don't stop doubting yourself.
Not doubt. It doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real, and it was yesterday. It doesn't. Gavin
Right there.
Gavin doesn't win trophies. Gavin
You're
doesn't
not allowed to say that
Corbin, I
anymore.
just said you did earn it. You painted your army, unlike Chris.
Yeah, I just kind of like, over my army and things happen to it. I don't know.
I could tell them your dirty, filthy secret.
Don't.
I mean, they know my dirty, filthy secret.
Do they?
Yeah.
Which
And
one?
this is really
And
what
it's
happened.
chirpy.
And this is
Yeah.
what really happened during the time.
That
It's
was
a lot of
that
this.
was that was Saturday night.
Oh wait, I have another video. Let me see if I can get it on here. I don't know if I can get this other video on here, and let's see.
Despite, I'm not gonna make that song reference. Despite the roughness of the end of my tournament experience this weekend, I did have a good time. I showed up to roll dice. I did not expect to win. I did not intend to win anything. I showed up to support this knucklehead and to roll dice because that's the point for me is to roll dice, have a good time, play games.
Yeah, my tower are speed paints. So
He used a Sharpie.
the fact that they got as much attention as they did because there a lot of people
Does it
were
mean
like
things you should nerf
gave me
gun 'em?
compliments on them.
Who?
That Chris should nerf gun you.
Zippy thinks I should drink a gallon and a half of water too, but I'm not going to do that either.
Yes, but you're being self-deprecating.
I'm
so.
not. I am not
I
being
have already
self-deprecating.
shot him with a Nerf
Morbid Eye
gun.
says, I just happen to expect a lot out of Chris.
These are not my best paint scheme. I'm never going to claim that they are.
It's a solid scheme for how little you claim to have done to them.
Because I didn't do a lot to them.
You say that.
You guys want to see another video that's kind of hilarious?
I don't know.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can get it up for you guys.
My ottoman is snoring.
Yes, your ottoman is story.
It's
I wonder what that
adorable.
was.
That's a kiwi.
Hi, Kiwi. Snippy Kiwi.
I mean, I'm working on that, but I need to get another army up and running that is
you and me
capable
both.
of touching all of the rubric check boxes that I know exist out there.
I need an army that doesn't get trashed by 60% of the current meta.
That I can take and play at both kitchen table level and at high level events with and expect my opponents to have fun. I am debating if Gene Stealer cults are that list or not. Oh, we lost our camera again.
No,
Or
you didn't.
Oh.
Morbid Eye says you should play Necrons. Think you get trashed by 100% of the current meta.
Yeah, that's yep. Except that Necrons beat me.
Alright, here we go. Here is a video for your viewing pleasure. Actually, let me turn the music off real quick.
Yes.
Alright, no, you're just gonna have to listen to it as is. Here we go. This is Chris coming out of the bathroom after he took a shower. Picking up his pillow.
That is a wall of pillows directly in front of the
The only entrance and exit of the
bathroom because they're trolls. It's what it is. They're trolls. They might be trolls in chat, but they're definitely trolls in person.
After my Saturday,
Oh, you were allowed. I wasn't mad.
I am allowed to be a troll.
Here we go. Ready for another one? Welcome to after rounds with the blanket scrub.
Scrub and dead scrub.
You can figure out which is which. You don't get to be both.
Why?
Just So the day started.
I believe the appropriate way to come to Santa.
Oh Lord.
No.
There will be more of these special videos as we get editing done.
As YouTube permits.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't put whipped cream on Chris's head while he slept?
If I'd remembered to bring the whipped cream, I would
I mean,
have.
we had peanut butter and jelly.
I'm not gonna put peanut butter on his head. I'm gonna eat that.
You say
But yeah,
it like
so
those two are mutually
our
exclusive.
full video
I'm
vlog
not gonna eat
of...
peanut butter off of you.
Actually, I'm gonna do this one because this one's too much.
No,
I love you, buddy. I'm not eating
Alright,
peanut butter
so-
off you. I'm sorry.
No?
Don't give away all of the secrets before we put it up on YouTube, and then they won't have things to watch on YouTube.
They'll go watch it on YouTube. They know that it's important to us to watch it on YouTube, right? You guys will go watch it on YouTube again.
Oh God.
Question to you. Last thoughts on day 1. What you're looking forward to on day 2.
More dice.
More days what?
More dice rolling. I'm not here to win.
Oh, you're not doing your thoughts on today first. Okay.
No, I'm doing what I'm looking forward to because I'm still percolating thoughts on today.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to more dice rolling because that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to win. I'm
Special
not here
hair.
to compete. I'm not here to out-compete. I'm not here to overshadow anybody. I'm here because I want to support that guy. I want to roll dice.
King's group?
Cool.
Oh my God.
Is that what it looks like?
Yes.
Every time?
Yes.
Fair enough. That could be your thoughts on today. Alright, no, we're talking about City.
No.
And what are you playing round 1 tomorrow? Hold on, let me just show you what's going on over here.
I wanted to play him. I wanted to play him so bad.
Honest thoughts on today.
If you guys play round 1 tomorrow, I'm recording the whole fucking match. Oops, sorry guys.
Uh-oh. Leg cap.
Oh, cap.
Actually, don't have that.
Oops, sorry guys.
You do owe me 2 shots.
I do.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yep.
Do you want to save them until after Adepticon?
Alright, there's more to that video, but you don't need to watch it because I don't know if I cussed again. So.
What, for me winning at Adepticon?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
You
here's
win
here's
at
here's
Adepticon, I will buy you
video
a bottle
roll.
of the good stuff.
Let's make that go away.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, if they had played, I would have literally just recorded the entire match. Yeah. But we have a brand new table that they're sitting in front of. We got the Frontline Gaming table, which is fantastic. It is the correct size to play on with no ridiculousness, so it's going to make bat raps better and playing better and all that.
And it's going to kill my kneecaps.
And, yep. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. The FLG table, if you saw a video, they put a video of people standing on it in Vegas. It's very nice.
It can hold like 350 pounds or something. So they were like dancing on it.
You got her attention.
But I'm gonna. The only thing that makes me sad is that I have a couple of the old 4x6 mats that I'm gonna have to cut down because
Cut them down.
Or let them hang over the edge, but yeah.
you know
Which I
the
think is
hang
worse.
over all the I think it'll bubble up around the sides and be more difficult to deal with. And I think
Cut them down.
But I like this mat. This is a pretty mat.
this is a very pretty mat, especially for doing things like this.
Especially when you combine it with your towel.
The fact that,
That
my
was
towel were
why-
designed to go on this mat
Yeah.
specifically.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
As was the terrain that has not
Um,
been finished. It was designed for this mat.
Mm-hmm.
But so we will be going to, well, at least the 2 of them will be going to Adepticon. I am not sure if I'll be joining them on that trip. If I do not join them, there will be less coverage, but I'll try to make them do stuff for you.
I'll do my best.
If I am there, I will try to get even more coverage from Adepticon than I did of this.
Whichever one of us doesn't make it to day 2 is going to be following the one who did make it to day 2, videotaping. You got a class. Me? I'm
just
free.
saying. I'm just saying. If you make it to day 2, at least until you go to top 4, and I have to
Concede to him.
go to the class, I'm gonna like go to a Target and I'm gonna buy a boombox and I'm gonna just like follow you around with "We Are the Champions" like the entire.
No!
I'm just gonna
Too
stand holding this
No.
I'll
like-
just pack a
like
Bluetooth
10 feet
speaker.
10 feet away from
No,
the
too much.
edge,
No,
and
too
I'm just gonna
much.
stand there in my team scrub shirt
No.
while you're standing there, while you're fighting in the
No, too
finals.
You're gonna get so many dice thrown at you.
If neither of us make it to day 2, then we're gonna spend the day in the vendor hall playing demos
Yep.
and watching
or
releases
following the
and
people that
things
did make it to day 2.
Yeah.
And make snide comments the whole time. What are the Muppets' names? Waldorf?
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, we're gonna Statler and
You
Waldorf
guys
them.
are Statler and Waldorf.
We're gonna Statler and Waldorf them.
Team Screw.
Deep screw.
Go. Go.
God.
And you guys really do get an insight to what our weekend was like.
Yes.
It was a lot of go.
because we're all ready for bed.
I'm so
I think.
tired. I literally walked into that this weekend after being awake for 40 something. I think almost.
It was a lot.
I think over 2 days
Yeah, it was a lot.
in total.
Oh,
Got it.
it just plopped.
Yes. Oh God, it did. Look at that. Damn it.
The kitten being super adorable just
It's
out
a
of reach
mashed
as always.
potato.
The cats are happy that we're home.
I got less than 18 hours of sleep.
And we did. None of us slept well the entire time we were at the hotel.
Yeah.
Some of us slept better than others.
Chris and myself are snorers.
Chainsaws.
And we kind of.
It was an industrial lumber yard, and I didn't have earplugs. That is something I will be fixing
yeah.
next trip.
I offered you guys them in Florida. I'm surprised you didn't have as bad a time in Florida.
You were not as bad in Florida as you were this time. Neither of you were.
It's the winter. We got more phlegm.
Apparently.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. You live, you learn, you buy earplugs. It's okay. Love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. This was a very good tournament. I enjoyed it.
They're doing it next year. We're going to be going back next year.
Yeah, we will definitely be at Cherokee next year.
People who say that they want to come to tournaments with us, when you get your Team Scrub jerseys, you should all come up and play in the tournament.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
see you there.
Which, for those of you who didn't see earlier, we are going to be at some point selling our jerseys as well. If you buy a jersey from us, it will say on the back Team Scrub. It will not be personalized. The only people who get them personalized are people that have been actually part of Team Scrub, one way or another. And of course, if you become part of Team Scrub, well, we can get you one that's personalized. But you're all part of Team Scrub a little bit.
You're all in the family.
Yeah.
You're just not part of the team. The team of the people that go out and perform. The acting troupe.
Acting like fools.
Yeah.
Harlequin troupe.
Jesters.
Screw.
It's the Scrub Sadaf. Oh.
That cat's so cute right now.
Oh, God.
I just want to snuggle her tummy.
Look at all the mashed potato hanging out.
I just want to snuggle the cat's tummy, and she's not gonna let me.
No, as
at
soon as
all.
you move your leg, she's gonna bolt.
Dead people just smack her over there with the wallet. I think at this point we might as well just say it, huh?
No?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Okay.
You
There are a
sure?
number of
Yeah,
things
I'm
that
sure.
could be said here.
Okay.
No, we will. Oh lordy, y'all are too much. I love you all.
I think they need to go to bed early tonight, so even though it's before 8 o'clock, I think this stream will be happening early. But if you guys have any questions or anything you want to know about the tournament or just in general, feel free to ask now. I will not let them leave quite yet.
Yeah, you need to go home. We need to eat dinner. We need to eat dinner and go to bed.
You need to go cuddle Sarah.
Oh my God, my cat. Where's my stuff?
So any questions? Otherwise, we're going to get off of here pretty quickly because he needs to go home. And, yeah. We came home and got ready for stream, basically, so.
No, I know.
We got
And yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions in the Discords and all that.
And
There
make,
will be answers.
make sure you keep an eye on YouTube. We will be posting all of our vlog videos up there. I've got to get them edited a little bit, and then I'll get them up there. I've got one ready to go, but...
Indeed.
Yeah.
So.
But we will see you guys tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And I think... Are you going to be painting or are you going to be playing a video game?
Painting.
We'll be painting tomorrow. Whoop, whoop. And it may be a different setup than you guys are used to. We're contemplating a couple different things, so we'll play it by ear. But we will see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. Love you all. We will see you next time.
Oh.
Bye.
Mashed potato.